We're at Franklin School. I had my last book signing about 3 years ago, and I had it actually at Holiday Inn Express. And it was a great facility, and by the way, the manager of Holiday Inn Express is here today.
I'm hiding over here.
Oh, there you are!
You kicked me out of my nice comfortable spot.
So
I gotta hide over here.
Michael, and Michael has a great copy. I've never stayed in his room, but I did have an event there. The staff is great, Michael's great, and the facility is really wonderful. So if you ever have an event in Carpinteria, Michael's going to talk.
Thank you, Leon.
But I decided to have it here this time because Franklin School is in the community, the heart of the community, where I've learned a lot about parenting because I've taught to many hundreds of parents and families. 4 years here at Franklin School, 9 years up the hill at Cleveland, and I said, this is the place I want to have. I want to have this because it's the heart of what I've learned. I also want to thank another person. That's my mom. Okay, I thank my mom. My mom is not with us, not because she's not alive, she just didn't want to make the drive from Watsonville. But my mom is, she's a huge inspiration for the book. And my mom, she had me when she was young. She was really young, and we were pretty poor, so she had to be strict. My mom was tough with me. She was a tough cookie. And so we didn't have a dishwasher at my house. Well, we had a dishwasher. Technically, I was the dishwasher at my house. And I remember one time I was 15 years old, and my mom said, go wash dishes. And I listened to my mom. I just did what she said. I was taller, bigger, but just listen to what she said. So I washed the dishes, and I put them in the drying rack. And then, I don't know if you have a mom like this, or if you're a parent like this, but you can't just finish. They have to inspect. You know, you have a mom that inspects. You know, Mom, I'm done. She said, let me come inspect this. She comes up, and she looks. No, this won't do. I'm thinking, I didn't say anything. I'm thinking, what's wrong? So I look in the sink, no dishes are in the sink. So I look over in the drying rack, there's no dried cheese or eggs on the dishes. And my mom's like, way down by the refrigerator, on the counter, there are some cookie crumbs. She said, there are crumbs on this counter. You know that when you wash dishes, you're supposed to wipe down the counter. I didn't know that. I didn't. But I didn't say anything. I said, okay, Mom, thank you. I'll be back and I'll inspect that. So I was wiping down, she walked away, and then I started grumbling to myself. I said, what is this talking about? I wash dishes, you wash dishes, you dry dishes. It has nothing to do with the counter. That's crazy. If she wanted me to do the counter, she should have said, when you're doing the dishes, do the counter. You can't expect a man just to know that. When I'm grown up, I'm never going to tell my kids to wash this and expect them to do the counter. That's just not going to happen. 25 years later, I come home one day, still don't have a dishwasher, and someone had washed the dishes, and it looked beautiful, stuff in it dry, and I look over to the left, and there's some cookie crumbs on the counter. No problem there. But something happened deep down by my feet, like at the beginning of a volcano. I could feel it down there, and it was going up real fast, and it got up here, and when you can't stop a vomit, it kind of like, it just came out, and I said, who washed the dishes and didn't wipe down the counter? You know when you wash dishes, you wipe down the counter. I couldn't believe it. I became my mom. And that's the thing about parenting, is that we don't realize that our children are going to become us some way and somehow. So we need to be the people we want our children to grow up to be. And so that's one reason why I wrote the book. So my parents, they were interesting. They had me when I was real young. And my dad, he did some things that was great too. When we lived in Santa Barbara when I was young, and I came back here later on. And we didn't have a lot of money, so we lived off government assistance sometimes dumpster diving. And one year my grandparents sent for me and my mom to go back east for the holidays. So my dad stayed here. And Christmas came and went, and my dad didn't have any money to buy me a gift. But people had got their gifts, and they put out their old stuff on the sidewalk and for the trash collectors to come by. And he saw a broken down rocking horse. So he took that rocking horse, and he brought it in the house, and he hammered it and sanded it and nailed it and painted it, and I came home and that was my Christmas gift because we didn't have a lot. And so he did that for me, but I became my dad in some ways also. And when you have a cycle, it's hard to break. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. When my daughter Madison, where's Madison? She's 15 now. When she was 2, one day she was doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing. I don't remember what it was, but she was doing it. I said, "You better stop," and she got me frustrated. So I popped her on the leg, give her a little hit on the leg, and she stopped, but she didn't cry. She looked at me and said, "Daddy, why you hit me?" And the moment that she said that, I regretted doing it. I knew I had made a mistake. And so if I didn't want to admit it, I said, "Because you were doing whatever it was. You were doing that. You shouldn't have done that. Because now you made me hit you." And then I walked out because I didn't want to face it. And the reason why I walked out is I was ashamed because when I was 4, I remember when I was 4, I went to preschool with a black eye. I had a black eye because my father gave me a black eye when I was 4. And it wasn't the first time he hit me. It was my first black eye, but it wasn't the first time he hit me. So I went to school, and people said, "What happened to your eye?" I said, "Oh, my dad hit me." But it wasn't a big deal because I hadn't been hit before. You understand what I mean? So my dad hit me. He played the Lakers. "What happened to your eye?" "Oh, my dad gave me a black eye because I haven't chopped him up." It was just a regular occurrence. I got back home that day, and my dad came in and he said, "Did you tell anybody that I hit you?" And I could tell by the way he said it, the answer, he did not want to hear the right answer. So I decided to lie. The thing is, I was 4, so I didn't lie very well. So instead of saying, "No, I didn't tell anybody," I lied about who I told. So basically, I told him that yeah, I told some people. I never saw his hand go up, but it came down fast. His hand came down open and hit me inside my head. And my other side of the head hit the wall and bounced off. And I looked up at him and I didn't cry, just like Madison didn't cry. And he said, "Are you going to tell anybody about that?" And I said, "Nope. I lied. Tell all you guys right now." But I said right then to myself, I am never going to hit my kid. I had just done it. I had just hit my kid. And so it's hard to break cycles. And so I went back in 20 minutes later and told Madison, "What you did was wrong, but what I did was more wrong. And I won't ever do that again." And I have. And I broke that cycle. And I don't think Madison's going to ever hit her kid. But cycles are hard to break. So what we do right now as parents, if we do something that's right, that cycle will continue, and that's what we want. If you do something wrong, it's hard to break it, no matter how much you want to. So that's another reason why I wrote the book. There's my girls. Madison and Maya. That's when they were younger and cuter. I'm sorry. Mary and I, we did our best to raise our girls. Just like everyone else, you want your kids, you want to raise them the best way you can. And we've been very fortunate. They've been very successful. They've donated thousands of dollars to charities. They've started their own charities, started their own businesses, successful businesses. They've spoken with and communicated with politicians in Washington, D.C. and foreign leaders and CEOs of businesses and charities. But they're real kids. They're not perfect. Because I still say, "Why is your bicycle still outside? How come I've asked you 3 times to put the bicycle inside? How come this room is a mess? How can you live like this?" I'm not going to look at either one because they know I'm talking about one of them. So they're not perfect. They're beautiful, they're smart, they're not perfect. They just take after me. Beautiful, smart, not perfect, right? We wanted to, they've been, because of their successes, they've been in the news and they've been in the newspapers and magazines and people have asked Mary and I for years, "What's the trick? What do you do to make them so successful? What is it?" And we don't know if we know what we've done. We don't know if what we've done is the cause of their successes. We don't know if we would just roll the dice and we just got kids who are going to be successful with any parents, or for the combination of both. But people said, "You should write a book." And I didn't want to be presumptuous and say, "Well, I know how to be a parent," because that's not my specialty. So I decided I was going to write a book, but I was going to talk to other people other kids who were successful and their parents. And I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just success, that there was happiness involved. Because I believe there are no successes without happiness. And I truly believe that. If you ask, we all want our kids to be successful. But if you ask why do you want your kid to be successful? Why do you want your kid to do well in school? So they get good grades. But why? So they can go to a good college. Okay, but why? They get a good job. Why? Money. Why? Because we want them to be able to own a house. We want them to be able to take care of their family. Why? Because we want them to be happy. If you keep asking why long enough about success, it's going to get to happiness. So there are a lot of people in the world who are successful. They've got fame, or they've got money, or they've done this or that. But if they're not happy inside, in my book, literally in my book, it's not success. So I said I'm going to go ahead and talk to people who are successful, but also seem happy. And so I want to let you know a couple people I spoke with. I spoke with that's Cecilia Cassini. I spoke with her mom, Michelle Cassini. She's a teen fashion designer to the stars, to Kelly Osbourne, to Taylor Swift. I talked to her. When she was 6, she got her first sewing machine. When she was 9, she had her first trunk show, sold out almost all 50 of her dresses. She's 15 now, and she's making dresses for the stars. I spoke with Mike Perrin. Mike Perrin, when he was 14, he sailed the Atlantic Ocean by himself. That's crazy. He's alive. I talked to him. I spoke with, that's Kane Monroe. And has anybody ever seen Kane Monroe before? He's right there. That's him right there. I spoke with his dad, George. Kane was the creator of Kane's Arcade at the age of 9. He's a creative inspiration to millions of kids. If you've ever seen Kane's Arcade, the video on YouTube, if you haven't seen it, you gotta look at it. And I won't tell you the story now, maybe you can chat with him a little bit later. He's an incredible kid and an incredible dad. I also spoke with Katie Walter. She's the youngest person to make the South Pole expedition at age 17. Jordan Romero, I talked to him and his dad. When Jordan Romero was 10 years old, he said to his dad, "Dad, I want to climb the highest mountains on every continent." And by the time he was 14, he had done it. Yeah, crazy, right? So I said, what do all these families have in common? What's the similarity? What's the same thing amongst them? Because they're different genders, they're from different parts of the world, they're some of them different ages, the ethnicity is different, we have finances are different. But what was the similarity? I found the secret sauce amongst them all, and I bottled it in my book. There's different types of parenting styles. There's tiger parent, and there's snow plow parent, and there's helicopter parent, and free range parent, and I coined a new one, and it's called safety net parents. And safety net parents, we all want our kids to be able to be successful and walk the tightrope of life. That's how I think about it. Tightrope. We want our kids to be balanced and have rhythm. And so what safety net parents do is they talk to their kids, they prepare them for that walk. They send them up the ladder, and they sit down and they let the kids walk. And the kid might slip, and the safety net parent lunges a little bit, stays seated. And then it may slip up, and we flinch, but we let them deal with it. And then they make them fall, and they fall. And we don't grab them. We let them experience the discomfort of that failure. We let them feel that oh my gosh, I don't like the way this feels, oh my goodness. And then we're there last minute, catch them, because we're like a safety net. And we catch them, and we say, you hung in there, we dust them off. We say, this is how you want to make a next change. Send them back up the ladder again and have them walk it again. What I found that was similar, I found about 7 or 8 different things in the book about safety net parents. What I found was that one of the things is that safety net parents, they create boundaries and they stick to them. And so kids feel safe that way. They help the children find their passions, and they help give them opportunities to make them their strengths. And it's because they want their children to be happy and successful. If you read the book, you realize, you know what, there's really nothing new in it. You didn't make anything up. There's nothing, you didn't invent anything in here. What's wrong with you? I don't know about this book. I didn't invent anything new in the book, but I took stuff from different places and I put it together, in a way that works harmoniously to raise happy, successful children. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for being here because you are you're very powerful part of this. This success, the future success of my book. Parents, listen to parents. So if you believe in me or the book or safety net parenting, or you just came for the food, it doesn't make a difference why you are here. It's just that you are here now, and so you have to help me out now. If you believe in the book, please tell other parents. Parents trust parents. Tell them about the book. Tell them about safety net. If you're a part of a parent group, a book club, you go to PTA meetings, spread the word, please. If you go into a library or bookstore, say, you have secrets of safety net parenting, and say, no, say, please go get that book and put it in your bookstore or library. Also, you can join the community at safetynetters.com. On the tables in front of you, there's a bunch of stuff you can just kind of take with you. There's promotional stuff. But you can find my website there. My website I created, Safety Net Parenting, Safety Netters. And Safety Netters is a comprehensive website that is not a site to sell books. Yes, I do sell my book on there, but it's really a site for like-minded parents who want to raise happy, successful children. And so if any of you want to join that and be part of that community, that would be really great. And you can just check it out. Up there is a little icon that says F for Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, I would love that. And you can join and like our Facebook page. It's called Safety Net Parenting. And you get a little bit more information about safety netting, and people, they drop in their ideas, and I drop in more ideas. Things you can find on the website. On the website, there is a place you can click to see my videos. My channel is called Dumbest Genius Parent Questions. And so you can watch and please subscribe to it. I answer questions about parenting. So please do that. Tell other people about it. That'd be wonderful. It'd be great, and it'll help spread the word. You guys are fantastic again for coming and helping out. There's a very, very strong power in word of mouth, and not a lot of people realize that. But if you go and talk to someone else and say, hey, I went to this event and this is a pretty cool book, it really helps out. So telling 2 or 3 people, and they tell 2 or 3 people, it really can make the future success of this book just take off. So I want to thank you for that. And I'm going to give you prizes. I want to give you guys an opportunity to learn some of those prizes. It takes a couple minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and let you watch me make a fool of myself for about 2.5 minutes. And I want you guys to give a hand to yourselves for coming.